Most people believe money is a game of intelligence. They believe the smartest person wins, the most informed, the most analytical, the one who reads the most books, studies the most charts, tracks the most trends. In a world obsessed with information, knowledge feels like power, but intelligence without structure collapses under pressure. War is not won by intelligence alone. It is won by strategy. In the 33 Strategies of War, Robert Greene explains that conflict is not chaos. It is structure. It is positioning. It is psychological. And those who understand the battlefield shape the outcome long before the first visible move is made. Money is no different. Most people fight financial battles emotionally, reactively, blindly. They respond to noise. They move when others move. They panic when others panic. The wealthy fight strategically. They study terrain. They calculate risk. They preserve energy. They wait for alignment. This is not about aggression. It is about positioning. And once you see money as war, everything changes. Most people say they want to be wealthy. Few can define what is holding them back. In war, confusion is fatal. If you do not know your enemy, you cannot design a strategy. You cannot allocate resources. You cannot prepare defenses. In money, the enemies are rarely external. They are lifestyle inflation, the quiet increase in spending every time income rises. They are impulse decisions, small purchases that feel harmless but compound over time. They are debt structures normalized by society. They are subscriptions you forgot, habits you justify, social pressure disguised as necessity. They are the addiction to appearing successful instead of becoming stable. And these enemies do not attack loudly. They erode slowly. Strategists are ruthless with clarity. They identify leaks. They name weaknesses. They calculate exposure. They audit habits without emotion. They look at their financial life the way a general looks at supply lines. Where is capital leaking? Where is risk concentrated? Where am I vulnerable? Wealth does not begin with ambition. It begins with identifying what is quietly sabotaging you. Until you define the enemy, you are fighting shadows. One of the central lessons in the 33 Strategies of War is this. Generals lose when they prepare for yesterday's battlefield. They expect the same terrain, the same tactics, the same enemy behavior. But history never repeats cleanly. Markets evolve. Industries shift. Technology rewrites rules. Yet most careers are built on outdated assumptions. People choose safe paths that were safe 10 years ago. They pursue degrees based on old demand. They cling to industries already being automated. They assume job security still functions the way it did for their parents. Financial strategy requires adaptability. The investor who only studies past crashes will miss new forms of risk. The employee who refuses to upgrade skills will slowly lose bargaining power. The entrepreneur who copies yesterday's model without understanding structural change will struggle tomorrow. Strategy requires emotional detachment from nostalgia. Just because something worked does not mean it will continue to work. Just because something failed does not mean it cannot succeed under new conditions. Wealth belongs to those who observe patterns, but refuse to become trapped by them. You do not prepare for the last war, you prepare for the next one. In conflict, the side that controls the pace controls the psychology. Speed can overwhelm. Slowness can frustrate. Both are weapons. In money, most people surrender tempo without realizing it. They react to headlines. They rush investments because others are profiting. They panic sell because others are afraid. They make career decisions under emotional pressure. They negotiate salaries from a position of urgency. But tempo is power. The disciplined investor does not allow the market to dictate emotion. The skilled professional does not accept the first offer out of fear. The The business owner does not expand simply because growth is trending. They slow down when others accelerate. They accelerate when others hesitate. They conserve energy during hype cycles. They deploy energy during fear cycles. Controlling tempo creates asymmetry, and asymmetry creates advantage. When you control your timing, you are no longer reacting. You are positioning. In war, there is a concept called death ground, a position where retreat is impossible. When soldiers know there is no escape, they fight differently. Not recklessly, but with focus. Financially, most people leave too many escape routes. They half commit to skill development. They test businesses without real investment of energy. They diversify efforts so widely that nothing compounds. They keep one foot in safety and one foot in ambition, and wonder why progress feels slow.
There is a difference between intelligent diversification and chronic hesitation.
Strategic commitment is not reckless, it is calculated. When you identify a high-leverage skill, you go deep. When you identify a valuable investment thesis, you study it thoroughly. When you choose a path, you build insulation around it. You eliminate distractions. You reduce optionality that weakens focus. Retreat remains possible. But psychologically, you move as if excellence is required, because it is. Half effort produces half results. Full commitment reshapes trajectory. Tactics win battles. Strategy wins wars. Most financial decisions are tactical. How do I increase income this month? Which stock moves next week? How do I reduce this bill? These are useful questions, but they are not strategic. Grand strategy asks different questions. Where should I position myself over the next decade? Which industries will expand structurally? What skills create durable leverage regardless of economic cycles? How do I build systems that generate income without constant effort? Short-term thinking creates income. Long-term positioning creates wealth. The wealthy often appear patient, not because they lack urgency, but because they are playing a different time horizon. They are not fighting for this quarter, they are shaping the next decade. Compounding is a strategic advantage, not a tactical trick, and compounding only rewards those who remain consistent long enough. In the 33 strategies of war, emotional reactions are described as predictable weaknesses. Anger leads to overextension, pride leads to miscalculation, fear leads to retreat at the wrong time. Financially, emotions are expensive. Revenge trading after a loss, overspending after a promotion, holding a failing investment to protect ego, switching careers impulsively after temporary discomfort. The battlefield of money is psychological before it is mathematical. If you cannot control your internal state, the market will control your external results. Emotional discipline is not suppression. It is awareness without reaction. It is the ability to feel fear without obeying it, to feel excitement without surrendering to it, and that awareness compounds. Because stable minds make stable decisions. In war, reputation shapes perception. If opponents believe you are disciplined and patient, they hesitate. They become cautious. Financially, reputation operates the same way. When you become known as reliable, long-term oriented, measured, opportunities shift toward you. Employers trust you with responsibility. Partners trust you with capital. Investors trust you with scale. Strategic calm becomes an asset, not because it is loud, but because it is rare. Most people are reactive, few are steady, and steady individuals attract long-term opportunities. Most people think money is about numbers. It is about positioning. It is about understanding that every financial decision is a move on a board larger than the moment itself. When you treat spending as a tactical choice, when you treat investing as terrain control, when you treat career development as long-term positioning, you stop drifting, you start commanding. Wealth is not built by reacting to chaos. It is built by designing your campaign. It is built by controlling yourself before controlling capital, by thinking ahead before acting, by committing deeply instead of spreading thin. In war, those who survive are not the loudest. they are the most prepared. And in money, the victory rarely belongs to the fastest thinker. It belongs to the most strategic one, built quietly, positioned carefully, proven over time.